Drum Company built these drums November 7, 1952. Absolutely crazy. Buddy of mine got these drums. Look at it, was repaired in 1958, January 27th in Detroit by the drum shop. So you go to a yard sale and you find something as precious as this, you got to take care of it so you can get playing. Rattrap Productions, we show you how to do stuff. Today I'm going to show you how to take a junkyard find. We're going to take it from the condition it's in now to pristine. I just want to get down to the shells as much as possible. I'm not going to take the lugs off or anything quite yet. I haven't decided how far I'm going to go on this, but I'm just going to make sure I take off as much of this, take off any of the heads, all of that kind of stuff, because we're going to have to clean it. We're going to have to look at the bearing edges to make sure it's okay. I already see that there's some damage on these shells, so we can kind of get these pretty. And just kind of, you know, take it apart first just to kind of assess the damage, see what you got going on underneath here. If you look inside here, you can kind of see what the shape of the wood is. This is all plies here. And you can see if they're split, you can see if they're chunked, because that's really gonna be whether your drum sounds good or not, is what shape your bearing edge is in. This is what contacts the skin. So we want to make sure we got something that's pretty good in the beginning. All right, so I have everything off of the drums, everything like that, and I could take a little bit better look at it. You can see we got a little bit of mold in here. We got a little signature from somebody. Looks like the previous owner put their address in there in 1957. And you see that there are some things that are not original. This is not original. This is not original. And the reason that they used to do stuff like this is because you would like to attach a lot of accessories onto the drums in these times. This is an early 50s drum set. They didn't have a stand for everything, so they wanted to put everything off of a bass drum because they just didn't have stands. They didn't think about it. And unfortunately, some guys would do stuff like this, which is a shame because they put holes in these shells. Nah, it's not good. So we're stuck with it. It does hurt the value of these drums a lot, but it is what it is. The bearing edges are in pretty darn good shape, so I'm fairly happy there. They're really thirsty shells, so that's where we're going to start. We're going to do a little bit of the covering. We're going to kind of freshen that up a little bit, and voila. Not entirely sure you can see this, but so this is the bass drum. It's been cleaned, and this is the rack tom, has not been cleaned. So hopefully what you can see is quite a bit of difference. See how much more luster there is on that color, and that color just, especially right at the curve there, it just shoots right back at you. It's not in bad shape, but you can see with all these scratches and stuff, all of that stuff is out now of this one. So that's why we clean those coverings. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to touch up this bearing edge a little bit. Just a little bit, because there's some fraying. So this is like 200 grit or 100 grit. Just going to clean off those burrs. Use the top of your table to check and see if the bearing edge is good. If you can see light anywhere, then that means your bearing edge is off. Okay? Just a little bit. But here I see nothing, so we're good. Once again, I'm just going to Let's clean it up a little bit. Alright, I'm going to do that to each of the drums. Make sure you check the table to see if there's any bearing edge problems. And then just spray some. This is linseed oil, orange oil. Just going to bring this wood back to life a little bit. It's definitely going to love you back. Very thirsty. Just to make sure I got it really good, I'm going to flip it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, after this, I'm going to actually wax the bearing edges. I'm going to use some car wax, actually. And that's just going to make sure that bearing edges are nice and but this is all I'm going to do for today. Just going to let this orange oil soak into these shells. It's day one complete. Took everything off, checked the bearing edges. We cleaned up with some rubbing compound the outside covering. We cleaned up the bearing edges with some 120 sandpaper, and then we're orange oiling the inside, and we're going to let it sit after that.